Hey guys, your friendly neighborhood nerds are here to talk about the first half of the animated series, Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man. Let's get into it.
What is up, everybody? Welcome back to Till the End of the Line podcast. I am the nerd with the laughs, and on my left,
Nerd with the knowledge.
that's right. And instead, we're going to be diving into the animated series of Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man, which so far so good, not bad.
Loving it.
Good
show.
Pretty good.
Interested to see why so many parallels are made to the 616 MCU.
I'm glad you brought that up because I have a theory about that. And I remember you talked about it that it might. You're thinking it's like 616A
Adjacent
or
yeah.
B, not A. It would be B,
yeah,
or something like that. I have a different theory on that.
Well,
and follow
we
me on
know
that.
that Peter B. Parker in Into the Spider-Verse is Into the Spider-Verse. What's the guy from?
Jake Johnson.
Yeah, he voices that Peter B. Parker.
Yeah,
that is 616B. His universe is 616B. So this could be 616.
Oh no, I wasn't. I was just
know.
bringing that up as an example. I wasn't saying specifically that this one is 616B. I just meant an adjacent universe. I have a theory, and I want you to like go with me on it because I have a feeling that
sounds fun. I just wanted to clarify because if anyone, we see how Eric Voss gets destroyed. In
my god, yeah.
So I'm not saying that 616.
I'm welcoming it, dude. It'll give us more traffic.
Me too, but I don't want people to attack me.
Yeah.
I want people to have a nerd out with me.
Hardly anyone comments, so like let's flood those comments and.
Okay, well then it's 616B. Just for the fucking.
This is the DC universe. That'll really get them going.
Oh my god.
Yeah, but before we dive into the first half, so episodes 1 through 5.
Yeah.
And then there is 10 episodes this season.
So it's 2 episodes, then 3 episodes, then 3 episodes again, and then 2 episodes.
I'm kind of with this layout.
Yeah, I think they should do most of their.
It's better than one a week.
They should do some of their smaller episodes like that.
Seasons? Or what do you mean?
No,
had like the 30-minute episodes.
Yes, because I don't want to. I mean, don't get me wrong. I would love 3 episodes of Daredevil, but who the fuck has 3 hours or almost 4 hours to sit down and watch an hour to hour and 20 episode? And for our content,
I
reason,
would do it.
I would love to too, but like we have lives and children, and our wives would probably be pissed at us because
Daredevil comes.
Well, I'm pretty sure Christina would probably watch it.
Yeah,
and so I told Sandy that she better figure it out that she's gonna watch them with me too, because she's never watched the original Daredevil.
That was gonna be my next question.
I know. I was like, you never what? How dare you? Blasphemy!
You're probably like taking the knee back. Wait a minute. Like, oh no. Yeah, but before
hopefully she doesn't watch this
I know,
episode.
Right? Before we get into those first 5 episodes, we have some nerd news. Today. Get your teacups ready because the first one that we have, the Deadpool creator Rob Liefeld cuts ties with Marvel after being denied. Oh no! After being denied access to a Deadpool and Wolverine after party, he got mad, saying that like this is an example of how they treat them. I'm pretty sure it wasn't Feige being like, no, you can't come in.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure. Sad to say, but.
Someone didn't recognize who he was.
Yeah, they probably didn't know who you are. Like, no, you can't. You're not on the list. You can't get in.
Yeah.
Like, I'm pretty sure if Feige was near there, he'd have been like, no, he's good.
Or Ryan Reynolds, for that matter.
Right. If somebody knew that he was outside of the ropes, like trying to get in, they'd be like, yeah, he's cool. Come in.
Well, he's probably just butthurt, or maybe there's some truth to this. You never know.
Yeah, I mean, maybe that was just the final straw, and he's like, you know what, I'm done.
Yeah, we don't know how many other times he made a scene, or we don't know the history. You know?
We don't. So if anything else comes of that, we'll let you guys know.
Yeah.
Next bit of news: Sonic producer, cool. Teases Avengers level threats like within that universe.
Right.
So maybe like I don't know. How would you classify an Avengers level threat? Just a big.
A big, like, all the heroes come together to kind of fight whoever this one big bad is going to be.
The only reason I'm like, well, how is that different than any other one? Because every other movie, the next movie, those past heroes are in that movie doing something.
Well, Knuckles wasn't a hero.
Correct, but my point is he was in the second one, and now he's in the third one as part of the team. So like Avengers level to me meant like, oh, people from different movies come together to fight a big bad. This one, I'm like, what's going to be different if each one in some way had like a big threat? So like, I'm wondering like, what's the difference? Maybe other characters that he's saying that haven't been introduced yet, and that movie will. Yeah. And then come together. So maybe that. But
well, because we got teased Amy at the end.
Yes, that was awesome.
Which is awesome.
Hell yeah.
What happens to Shadow? I forgot.
The second end credits, he goes and picks up his shoe, but we don't see him. We just see his hand grab his shoe.
Okay, so
he's alive.
In theory,
so
they're gonna work together.
He's still alive, yeah. And then we see the robots come in at the end.
Yeah.
The mecha.
Think about
Sonic.
So think about this. Basically, Spider-Man. Wow.
That is an Avengers level threat. Spider-Man comes in.
No. This is basically Goku gathering the Z Fighters.
Yeah, essentially.
So Sonic is Goku, Shadow is Vegeta, Knuckles is Piccolo because they were enemies at first and then become
true
frenemies.
Well, you said that there was a lot of parallels with Sonic.
Crazy amount of parallels.
Yeah. The crystals are the Dragon Balls and
the emeralds.
What did I say? Crystals?
Yeah.
Well, they're kind of the same thing. Yeah.
Tomato, tomato.
Yeah.
And then so this robot coming in is basically the Android Saga.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. There's
so the next level is some organic version.
It's like as if the creator of Sonic was a big fan of Dragon Ball Z and was like, let's make this an American version.
Yeah. Literally.
And he had a pet hedgehog and was like, you. Yeah.
You got spiky hair too.
Yeah.
Like those sayings.
Exactly. So the newer trailer for Thunderbolts released at the Super Bowl, correct?
Yes.
So this, I have a question.
They gave you a teaser and then they said in it to go to YouTube to watch it.
Oh, did they? Okay.
And so I went to YouTube and watched it.
Of course, yeah. I just waited till it was on like Instagram. It was, and I have a question for you, which a lot of people are theorizing this. Do you think Taskmaster dies in the beginning?
I initially said yes because we see him. We don't see Taskmaster in any of the original promo. Now we've seen him once.
You do.
No. The original promo, you don't see him at all, other than showing up in that one.
You see his mask for like a second, and then that was it.
No, and now yes.
No.
You see more now.
You see more now, yeah.
You see Taskmaster in the room where they're going to fight Bob Sentry,
yeah.
And then that's it. That's the only time you see him or her. Sorry,
yeah.
Taskmaster is a girl in this universe.
MCU, yeah.
And other than that, like everyone's theorizing that she's just gonna die, which kind of sucks. But I mean, it is what it is. She's not really, but we do see her in this trailer more. We see her with her
in the beginning, but it looks like just more of that Sentry fight. I'm thinking Sentry kills her.
Oh, absolutely,
probably.
I think Sentry just like rips her head off.
Yikes!
Yeah, like something like tragic, like horrible.
Something bad happens. So we will see when.
But Sentry is taking in his like. Nega Sentry, what the hell is it called? I think it's called the Void. His alternate part.
Like, yeah, dude, you see the way he kills people? He just like, and then they just like become a shadow.
Yeah, like dust. He likes dust them away.
What the hell? Cool. So that looks good. It looks like it's gonna have a little bit of emotion in it with.
Who the hell on this Thunderbolts team can stop them? None of them match up to this guy.
Yeah.
He's Superman level power. He has the power of like 1,000 suns.
And half the team doesn't have superpowers? Well, they do. Yelena doesn't have. Well, she has agility.
Well, she has an enhanced version.
Agility.
Yeah, she has the Widow serum, whatever that is.
Yeah, and then
they never really established it, but they kind of allude to it by going through
dude, it's like dead accuracy, heightened agility.
Yeah,
quick combat skills. Probably. Oh no, they can't. Maybe they heal a lot faster than a normal person, but they don't heal fast.
Correct. Not like.
They still need ibuprofen. Yeah.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. So we'll see what comes of that. I'm excited.
Yeah, it's just a bunch of like 3 super soldiers. One person that can phase in and out. Another person that has that muscle memory.
There's only 2 super soldiers.
3.
Who's the third? Oh,
Bucky,
fucking
Alexi, and
U.S. agent. Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry. Yeah. Forgot about him. What do you think his shield is made out of?
Well, it's bulletproof. Well, now we know in this trailer because he.
Yelena shoots at him. It's me. Yeah.
That was
Where were you? Where were you? That just shows that they're the B Squad. If you're shooting your own guy,
Yeah.
like,
Do you think maybe adamantium?
I thought that, but not yet. Well, maybe because Brave New World comes out first.
Yeah. So the way the timeline is Brave New World takes place in 2026, and Thunderbolts is taking place almost a full year later, calendar year, in 2027.
Oh yeah, okay.
in the MCU.
Yeah.
So
it's possible.
If vibranium,
we got to figure out what happens. We'll get there because I want to talk about that in the end of the episode. But we're going to get there. But yeah. Next, Coleman Domingo did talk about the Kang role, but didn't like. There were talks about it with him and.
But it was never a focus. It seemed like.
Well, no, it's not that it was a focus. I think it's that he ultimately came to the conclusion that if he were to take an MCU role, he wanted to build up the character, not replace the character, which is fair.
Yeah,
it's I get it.
He's that level of an actor that can hold and create some new.
And if you guys don't know, he's voicing Harry Osborn in this series. So, yeah, we know he can play an MCU character because he's doing pretty solid as
You think
Harry.
Luke Cage?
If he bulks up a bit, yeah,
right.
Yeah, he's more on the slender side. He has a stature for it. He need,
if he just bulks up, I think
he would need like 50 to 70 more pounds on him.
Yeah,
I would.
Or Blue Marvel.
I don't know much about Blue Marvel, but okay.
He's hella OP.
Yeah. And then the last bit of news: Joseph Quinn wants Johnny Storm to team up with Spider-Man. Oh wait, before that, Coleman Domingo also said he would like to play Harry Osborn in the MCU. I don't know how I feel about that.
Why? You don't want the race change?
Yes and no. Like I get it if it's a multiverse, but if I don't like when they take iconic characters and change like a lot about them. You know what I mean? Like, okay. I feel like it's cheating that character, and I'm not saying like, oh, keep a white person white, or it's not. It has to do with race. It's like when you change. Because let's be real, a different race changes a lifestyle. You get what I'm saying? Like a black Harry Osborn may, like an African American Harry Osborn may not be able to rise through the ranks and make his own business as fast or as easy as a white Harry Osborn, or he might come up with a lot more pushback than than a white Harry Osborn. You know what I'm saying?
I hear you loud and clear.
You know what I'm
However,
saying?
I think that argues why it would work out, because we're seeing a powerful African American.
Oh yeah, like I'm saying,
go through corporate America and basically rampage through that and get these government contracts and become somewhat of an icon.
Yeah. Let me ask you this. Do you remember Ben Affleck's Daredevil?
Yeah.
Did you like that they cast Michael Clark Duncan as Kingpin?
I think he did a good job, actually.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, for the time. Now, looking back, nobody beats Vincent D'Onofrio. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I don't mind it. I was like, oh, okay, cool. He seems like a mobster badass, which is and he's big and bulky and you know, like he fit. It worked back then.
Yeah.
You know?
All right. Well,
I'm not against it.
Okay.
I think there's
I think it's better if it's told in as a multiverse, as a variant, not as 616. You know what I mean? Because 616, he's a white male. So
I hear you. I really wish they would change the race and pay homage to who they were. These two characters in particular were based off of would be Charles Xavier and
because of the
Eric,
Malcolm X and Martin
Luther King reference.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
I would, and there are some rumors that Denzel might be Magneto, and that's the role he's playing in Wakanda.
Oh, you did hear that rumor? Somebody told me about that rumor, but I thought he was talking about that Denzel might play the villain in Black Panther 3.
That might be a villain.
Magneto?
Yeah.
But no, it showed him as a different character, as some other character, not Magneto. It had the picture of the
the art, not the article, but the clip that I seen was that he might play Magneto as the villain in Wakanda, the third Wakanda movie.
Oh, I see. I didn't. To me, it showed somebody. It showed a character that wasn't Magneto.
Yeah, that was before. This is maybe like a week ago that I seen this.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
So I mean, again, I mean, he can play a great Eric.
You think so?
Yeah.
Oh, interesting. All right. So then, like as I said, Joseph Quinn wants Johnny Storm to team up with Spider-Man, which is cool because that's actually a comic run where they're roommates.
Yeah, roommates, and Spider-Man becomes part of. Well, one, we get a feature to the new costume, the Future Foundation costume, which is an organization that Reed puts on for like younger heroes, and that's why he wears that blue costume. And then the other one is that he actually was part of Fantastic Four at one point.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of homage that gets paid to that. Do you think Peter exists in
the new Fantastic Four movie?
Well, I don't think we'll see him. I think there could be a reference to a kid calling him whatever, or Reed saying, "Oh, you know, I got the."
All right. So if you're throwing that out there, try to look at the background of any newspaper and see if you see like Spidey sighting or whatever.
In the movie? I can't wait.
Yeah, look for any newspaper you see. Look for a side article that says Spider-Man or something.
Very similar to how in this series, what is it, episode 3, where he has like 3 different. Norman has like 3 different articles on the TV. One is with like the explosion in Lagos, and then the other one is like Steve and Tony face to face, and the other one in the corner.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So like I feel like. If there's anything that's going to have a stupid amount of Easter eggs, it's going to be Fantastic Four because it's set in another universe.
Yeah.
And we're going to see so many different references. You know, I would love for X-Men to exist there already. We get a reference to, you know, Charles Xavier School, a reference to, Spider-Man, this kid crawling up walls. What the hell's that? Mm-hmm. Or Joe Jonah Jameson because in the fan art, or the map, there's a triangle building, and it looks like the Daily Bugle. So, I'm pretty sure the Daily Bugle exists, and they did that for a reason. I
can't wait. I just can't wait to find. Like, my most anticipated thing about this movie is just to find out where this is. Like, I know it's a 60s style place. Mm-hmm. I want to know where it is and how is it going to tie into MCU. That's my most anticipated thing.
It's New York.
Like, correct, it's New York, but
they say this universe is gonna die.
Correct. So that's what I want to know. I want to find out. I want to know. I want to mention somewhere what multiverse it is, or if it's
establish a number.
Yeah, like I want to know where this is.
Okay. No, they're gonna. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
and I think their scapegoat and the way they get away is the Council of Reeds.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because it shows.
Dude, how would you like to see all the other actors that play Reed?
That's where I'm going with that. Yeah, all the other Reeds, and I want the Maker to be Miles Teller.
The Maker.
Yeah, so it's like an evil Reed Richards. He's like he floats, and he has.
You want it to be the character Miles
Teller that plays that
the
Reed Richards.
Actor.
Yeah.
Sorry. You said Miles Teller, and my mind went Miles Morales. Sorry.
That makes sense.
That's what I was like.
You were so lost.
Yeah, I was like, you want Spider-Man to be the Maker? What the fuck?
No, that's some what ifs type shit.
Miles Teller is the actor's name, correct?
Yes, and he played a variant of.
Yeah, so that was my other point when they changed race of Johnny Storm, when they made him Michael B. Jordan.
I didn't get mad.
It's not that I got mad. It's like you changed up that whole dynamic is that they were brother and sister. But like,
they are brother and sister.
They're adopted brother and sister. Yeah, I get that. But I'm like, okay, but that changes their whole thing, their whole dynamic, or that changes their origin in a way. It creates a backstory that wasn't there.
Yeah.
So I'm like, but the Foxverse, so that didn't count.
Agreed.
So so that's it for nerd news. But make sure to like and subscribe and click that notification bell to keep up with the latest in nerd news.
Yes.
Let's dive right in.
Yeah.
We got episode 1. What's that titled?
Amazing Fantasy.
Amazing Fantasy.
So obviously this is titled Amazing Fantasy, the tribute to the Amazing Adult Fantasy.
Oh my God.
It's literally titled that. It's an adult comic. Not pornography, all right? Get that away. Get out of the gutter. But this was where Spider-Man
naked.
was right. He just has a mask. Yeah, that's it. And he shoots webs from his.
That's
penis.
how. Oh, interesting. That only Tobey Maguire does that.
Yeah, or his butthole.
Oh, like a real spider. Yikes. So that's, you said it's from that, like an homage to that run.
So Spider-Man was featured. The Amazing Spider-Man was featured in the Amazing Fantasies.
Oh,
Which was basically Stan Lee trying to launch and pitch this.
okay.
You know what I mean? So none of this was actually let me get one of those two.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
And so this was not a comic line for just Spider-Man. It was just like an idea comic. Like that's basically what it was.
Okay.
And Spider-Man was first featured in this series.
Okay.
All right. So it opens up to him obviously running late like always. Peter Parker is like notoriously late to his, like, he's gonna be late to his own funeral.
Yeah. Probably.
Seriously. He was late to his own wedding in the Tobey Maguire one, wasn't he?
That's true. Well, yeah. And that had nothing to do with him being a superhero on the side. Like, that was just Peter Parker.
Yeah.
He's probably part Latino somewhere. Because he's just always late. He says one time and gets there a different time.
So yeah, this is before he gets bit. So he's already being late. You know, he misses his train. Aunt May ends up helping him out. And she gets in the car. Oh, he gets in Aunt May's car. They take off to go to school. And you see Iron Man dangling on the review mirror with the little repulsor thing. That's pretty cute. And then, you know, Peter seems not as happy, as cheerful as he usually is. But then it's clear because they're missing Uncle Ben. So it's established that Uncle Ben is passed in this universe. But it's not an old Aunt May. It is a young Aunt May, similar to the 616, our version of it. Versus all the animated series from the 90s.
Shit, even Tobey Maguire's and Andrew
Garfield's
they were
Aunt
older.
May were old.
Yeah.
So apparently the more we see Aunt May, the younger she gets. Every new
true.
version of Aunt May is just younger and younger.
Benjamin Aunt May.
So yeah. So Peter seems sad, but he's excited to go to this new school. And they show Midtown High again. They pull up. Portal opens. And it just kicks off pretty quickly too.
Yeah.
Like it gets exciting really quickly. It's a pretty quick intro episode. Portal opens, this Venom-like, I don't even know what to call it.
Honestly, it looked like a Venom Sabretooth.
Yes. Literally, that's the best way to explain it. I was thinking more Kraven the Hunter because of the mane, but I think Sabretooth fits it head on.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I could see Venom Kraven.
Yeah. Whatever the heck this was. We don't know. We don't know.
That would make more sense because then Kraven is the bad guy of Spider-Man.
Mm-hmm. But why is Strange hunting it?
Because he's terrorizing shit.
Yeah.
He's a symbiote, so it's, you know, not regular. A lot of regular people can't handle Venom on their own.
That's fair.
Lower superheroes.
That's fair. So this portal opens, drops down.
It wasn't Benedict Cumberbatch, right, voicing it? Okay, I didn't think so.
None of the original cast from any of the MCU.
Correct.
is
Yeah.
these. All new voice actors.
Mm-hmm.
So basically that's it. They see Strange fight him, and he's like, "Oh, that's strange." And I think he said something like that along those lines. He's like,
so he doesn't know who Doctor Strange.
He's like, yeah. So apparently, Doctor Strange hadn't had his accident yet, hasn't gone to Comertage yet, which.
Well, no,
I guess
I don't know. You can say that because I think in this universe he already is Doctor Strange. Because remember, Doctor Strange can't open portals through different multiverses. He can only do it on his world. Remember?
crazy theory.
What do you mean?
Hear me out. Listen.
My theory's crazy, or what you have? Okay.
Wait. Fucking.
Oh, he has the stones on there.
On his sling ring from the void. That's the variant that Cassandra kills.
That's yeah. I feel like if that was the case, they would have like shown a gem on there or a stone on there at some point.
You think so?
Yeah, I'm gonna go back and look at the sling ring.
In reality, this is a kid show. why would Disney and Marvel emphasize on that to make kids go watch a rated R movie? I don't think they would. That's why I don't think they put emphasis on that. Because all the nerds are going to pick up on that and be like, oh,
well,
cool.
the kids won't know, but the adults who are majority went to go see that movie and who are watching this will.
Yeah.
That'd be
But
something
I don't think
that
they would
would
drop
know.
that. Because it would push kids to go watch it.
I don't think that's what that would do.
No.
I think that is just an explanation of what Strange that is. They could be like, "What Strange?"
So
that's
you
a
think
quick answer to
what are
that
the
question.
theory would make sense.
That he's already. This is a different world entirely because
Well, we're seeing two different universes here. A Strange and a Venom from a new universe. No one knows.
No, see, that's what I'm trying to say is that could be from here in just a different place and then he portaled and he came in from that other place in this universe because Doctor Strange can't open into a different multiverse. That ring probably helped him get into the void, but not to a different multiverse.
I hear you, but then why did that spider come out of there?
True, and that's my point. That spider. That's where I was thinking, like, oh, this isn't like Into the Spider-Verse, because Into the Spider-Verse, it showed if you weren't from that universe, you were glitching. This spider didn't glitch. So maybe this is just a radioactive spider from somewhere else that came into contact with Peter. Maybe, you probably not going to want to hear this, but maybe it's one of the spiders from fucking Madam Web from the Amazonian or wherever that. What was it? Was it Amazon?
Yeah, the arachnia whatever thing.
Yeah. Maybe it was a spider from there that's where he was chasing this saber-tooth symbiote. Maybe the meteor landed in like a foresty area where Sabretooth was. And then that's where he was hunting him and he just came from that spider came down into that portal.
I just feel like this Doctor Strange looks classical Doctor Strange. Mm-hmm. He has his gauntlets, his like glove situations.
You mean gloves, yeah.
But for
some reason Doctor Strange in the MCU only wore in the end credit scene to Thor.
Right.
And that was the only time you ever wore them.
They're like his cape. They have some magical abilities.
Do they?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought they were just gloves.
No. That's why they're like something gauntlet. I don't know what they're called. But they have.
They look like gloves we use to do dishes.
Oh, they look
The
like
yellow
fancy
ones?
gloves to me.
Oh yeah, but I'll say like because they're long and yellow.
Yeah, fair.
Somebody can cosplay and just get the dishes gloves.
The dollar store Doctor Strange. Oh my god. I don't think so. The way he's like Doctor. He's like, what is this wizard guy? I think Doctor Strange. If he looks like that and he has the cape and everything, he's a well-known hero at this point. You get what I'm saying? So that's why it's not from that universe.
I don't know about that. Just because, what's her name? The ancient one. She wasn't well known back then. Maybe Doctor Strange just started doing his thing and he hasn't built his name yet.
I don't think
again, in this whatever multiverse it is, he could have started later and closer to when Peter got bit. That's my whole point, is that this is a different universe where things happen differently. We're gonna get into more.
Well,
but
because
go ahead.
there's so much similarity to 616, and you know
I have a theory on that, but
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's so much similarity, and that's why I say it's like a 616 adjacent universe. I think a lot of the timeline there could be shift in the personalities and who worked with who, but I don't think there's a shift in when they get the powers. It's just who is getting these powers now. Like maybe this version of Strange is
not true, because in Civil War, Peter had already had his powers months before Civil War happened, and in this one, he just got his powers and Civil War is happening.
Well, we don't know how long he's been Spider-Man.
Yeah, we do. We see him get bit.
Right, but from there to being in school, and he's already been said to be notoriously late, we don't know how many months have passed from when he got bit to when he finds and encounters and saves, because he's already developed those tanks, his web shooters. He's not seasoned, but he's already been web slinging for a while. You get what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So there's time has passed where it's like they're in a school year. You know what I mean? They're deep into a school year already at this point. And months have passed since he got bit. So yeah, I mean, it kind of does match up because the only difference is that Tony wasn't the one that discovered him. It's Osborn.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? But he could have been months in already being this new version of Spider-Man with the baseball jersey or the football jersey.
Right, but you don't know that. You don't know if it is that further along or if we just seen him after he developed that he got bit and then developed that tank and stuff like that. It does. I don't know, for Spider-Man, especially with his IQ, I don't see that taking that long to figure it out. Because we see it in the opening credits montage, him working on it.
Right. He's working on it, but then he also, in all the other Spider-Man movies, he has that time where, like, he doesn't learn how to web sling correctly. He montage, hits building. Yeah. We missed all that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that takes weeks of him getting tired, him running into buildings,
maybe
him not
weeks,
be able
but
to
not
stick
months.
the landing.
Yeah, maybe not months.
That's what I'm saying. So,
well, let's move on into more into the episode.
Yeah.
But so they get past that part with Doctor Strange.
Yeah, so he gets bit, and I like the comic split of it's Nico, and how about this Spider-Man? And another reason why I think it's 616 adjacent because his bestie is a Filipino chick.
Is she Filipino?
Yeah.
I didn't know what Asian Asian
she actually
was.
has powers in the MCU. Oh, I'm sorry, in the 616. She is
because it's not Silk, right?
No,
Yeah,
it's not
Silk is Sydney something.
Her name is. No, I lied. Her parents are like evil sorcerers.
Ooh.
Yeah. But we find out she's an orphan. So either she doesn't know her parents yet or her parents are out doing some evil sorcery.
Yeah.
But yeah, so she potentially could be a sorceress.
Okay.
But anyways, where was I?
They jumps into his homemade Spidey web sling to school.
Oh yeah, so he gets bit and well, here's a key part. We don't know what happens to that spider. And we don't know who picked up that bag that the spider takes off on and then he goes unconscious. It's not Nico because she's there with him.
I'm wondering if it's Sydney Silk that it bites. Because isn't in the comics she gets bit by the same spider as Peter and that's why they have a connection?
That's a good call.
You know what I mean?
Have we seen somebody that can be?
Maybe not yet, but we still have another half of the season to go. So it may be coming. I will say Spider-Man 2 video game ends with Silk being introduced, but not as a superhero, as her like regular self.
Before the bite?
I don't know if it's before or after the bite, and we only see the back of her head.
Interesting.
Yeah. But yeah,
I like that Silk theory.
Yeah.
That could pan out in season 2.
Yeah. Or at the end of this season. You know, if we find out what happened to that spider.
I feel like because it happened in the beginning, I don't think we're going to find out anything because they introduced Doc Ock, and I know there was a comic line of these. There are comics that were released that were supposed to tell side stories for this series. So we see this first villain here, that butane guy or whatever. Which, before I jump ahead, let's see what happens. So yeah, the book bag takes off. We don't know who ends up taking that spider. So it jumps back to him being late again. He misses the train, but this time he ends up jumping into his suit and starts web slinging through to get to school on time. Ends up being late again because he ends up stopping some bullies that were beating up on a kid. Turns out that this kid is Harry. This universe is Harry.
I thought he saves Harry from being hit by a car. Is that the same scene?
Well, yeah, because he's being chased by those bullies, isn't he?
Yeah, but and I think he walks into the street after Spider-Man.
He walks into the street trying to get away from those bullies, I thought.
Is that what it was? Okay.
Yeah, and then he saves him, and then the bullies keep chasing after him. And then he wrecks that kid with the brick.
Oh my god, yeah.
Yeah,
he's like, oops. I didn't mean to do it that hard. Whoopsie.
Yeah, that was crazy. And then turns out, yeah, like I said, that's Harry.
He's gonna turn and say, "Hey, you guys, dude!" Just
Yeah,
swollen
that
head.
poor guy.
Yeah.
He's gonna not wake up ever.
Oh, no.
Yeah, he could have easily killed that guy.
Yeah.
You know. Let's see.
He gets to school late. but-
Yeah, late again. The teacher calls him out, but he goes to Rockford Bales instead of Midtown High, like how he did in the comics.
Yeah.
And also in the MCU.
And was that the school in the beginning, right? Wasn't that
Yeah,
Midtown
yeah,
High?
but it got blown up with a hole inside of it because of
All right.
Doctor Strange throwing I think a bus into the building.
I don't know if he threw a bus, but I think he threw the
Or maybe the
symbiote
Venom
guy. Yeah, the symbiote dude hit a bus. Or no, the symbiote dude threw it, didn't he?
Yeah,
Yeah.
and Stephen Strange dodged it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then they hit the building, put a big ass hole in there. So yeah, Midtown High is under construction. And then we get introduced to his crush. It's not MJ, and it's not our MJ from the MCU. It is a Pearl, who's AKA the first Filipino hero, Wave. So her powers are like, kind of like Aquaman. No, how do I explain this?
This is also why I don't think it's 616 adjacent, because 616 adjacent would have MJ, or at the very minimum Gwen. But now it's completely different characters that they're focusing on. That's why I'm thinking it's a different multiverse entirely.
What?
Also, we've never seen Spider-Man have that gear on him to Web's thing. We've never seen a CO2 tank on the back of him with the cords coming to fire as his prototype one.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But anyway, we get introduced Lonnie Lincoln. We won't say his AKA name or his nickname yet. Let's leave that for later.
You sure?
Yeah. And then he's from a rough
Well,
part.
I didn't explain Pearl's powers. So she's basically like a Iceman, but with water powers. That's
So-
the best way to explain it.
So, Katara? Katara?
Yeah, basically a waterbender.
Yeah, waterbender? Yeah.
Essentially, yeah. She can manipulate water, and that's pretty much it.
Okay.
Water manipulation and water blast.
Yeah.
So
which
literally
is-
like Iceman, but
it's
water.
she's an air waterbender.
Yeah.
She's Katara. Yeah. All right.
Less effortlessly, where you have to like do the whole
Well, that's
song and
because
dance
they're
and karate.
Yeah, that's more because that's more that culture.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So yeah, Lonnie Lincoln gets introduced. He's the love interest to Pearl, and
You're saying that's who Peter's crushing on is Pearl?
yeah, it's clear.
Yeah. Mhm.
Clearly, she is, or he is. But you know, Peter Parker loses out, and Lonnie isn't a bad guy at this point. You know, he's kind of a badass. Like he's kind of the cool jock. He's
Yeah.
really smart. He's
He's that guy that everybody in high school likes. That
He's the
there's-
jock that everybody likes. Yes.
Yeah, and he's not your Flash Gordon where he's a
No,
bully jock.
absolutely
Yeah.
not. Total opposite. Polar opposite.
Do you think we'll see Flash Gordon?
I don't think so.
No, me either, because they're focusing on Lonnie.
Yeah.
So all right.
And we have Nico as the best friend instead of, what's his name in ours?
Who?
The Asian kid in
Ned?
Ned. Yeah,
Okay.
Ned. But I don't think Pearl is meant to be his MJ yet. I think we might meet an MJ.
Okay.
Because I think Pearl is, what's her name? Summer. Freaking Michael Keaton's daughter in the first movie.
Oh God, I don't remember her name at all.
I don't remember her name either. That's who this Pearl version is supposed to be. That
Okay.
first crush that he never really actually goes out with.
Yeah.
And then we're going to get introduced to MJ or Gwen of some sort.
All right. Let's
You know what
get let's get through this because we're still on episode 1. We got like 4 other episodes.
So whatever, he gets home. Turns out Lonnie's from like a rough part. You know,
Yeah.
they get this montage of Lonnie walking through Queens and probably ends up in like Harlem.
Yeah.
It looks like a really rough neighborhood. Giving me like Luke Cage vibes of his territory. That's why I thought Harlem.
Yeah.
And then it flips over to Spidey. giving a burglar like a freebie.
Yeah, letting him go.
Letting him
Yeah.
go, making him apologize, and then he gets free pizza. He smashes the pizza.
Yeah.
He goes home, and Peter sees an audio outside of the apartment building, giving like that same vibes of like Tony Stark,
Civil War. This is literally a shot for shot of Civil War.
but animated. Yeah, literally. Goes upstairs, and it turns out to be Norman Osborn versus.
Talking to May like
In the
Tony
living
was
room, yeah.
talking.
And
So
notice-
this is what I take from this season. This season is basically a what if season of Spider-Man. What if Norman became Peter's mentor and not Tony Stark? You know what I'm saying? It's almost like that. It's like what if that one thing changed? How would Peter's story?
Yeah.
Like he didn't go to he wasn't in Germany in Civil War in the airport, so that changed.
Yep.
How does that change how Tony Stark and Cap, that whole fight go down with Spider-Man not there?
Yeah.
He doesn't meet
No,
Cap.
Underoos?
Yeah, exactly. No, where you from, kid? Queens,
Yeah.
Brooklyn. You know, like there's none of that happened. That's why what I'm seeing is like this whole season is basically a what if Spider-Man episode or Spider-Man season.
I agree to an extent.
And the reason I say that because it happens first episode,
Yeah.
so everything stems from that and goes on.
I agree, but maybe a verbiage. I don't think this is what if Norman was his mentor. It's just what if Norman intervened before Tony did, or what if Norman Osborn existed in in this universe before, other than like R616 or
Right.
isn't.
But as of right now, he is mentoring Peter.
I think he has an ulterior motive.
Nonetheless, he's still mentoring him. Whether he has an ulterior motive, that's a different story. But
I think it's not mentoring if you're using somebody.
It still is, because mentoring is still that person's still learning from that other person, just like how he learned. Well, we'll get into it.
I think he's totally taking advantage of him.
100%. I mean, it's Norman Osborn, but this doesn't change the fact that right now he's mentoring Peter Parker. Whether the end game is
he has a facade that he's coming off as a mentor,
correct,
but he's not trying to mentor him. He's trying to take advantage of him.
I think right now he is mentoring him to try to take advantage of him later to earn that trust. Because that's how Peter's seeing him. Because the reason I say mentor, we're gonna get into it in,
Episode 2.
I think is it 2? I thought it was in 4. The one with the Bonnie and Clyde superheroes.
Oh yeah, that's 4.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
in there,
Maria and James.
yeah. So on that one, that's where you see some of the mentoring comes into play, and
By being the man in the chair kind of situation.
Yeah, so that's what I was talking about, and talking about the suit and blah blah blah. But anyway, so episode 2 is the Parker luck. Peter begins an exclusive internship, but his first day is way more complicated than he expected.
Mm-hmm. So Peter has the same. This whole intro is the same as Tony talking to May. Only difference is that this Osborn doesn't make a joke about his aunt being so hot. Versus how Tony did.
Yeah.
This
He's
guy seems to be a little professional, right? Outside of stalking very intelligent minors to find out who Spider-Man is, which I think he's sus, but whatever.
The four in his internship.
Yeah, he created the internship to find out who Spider-Man was, because he thought Spider-Man, one of these intelligent people, were helping Spider-Man with his tech.
Yeah,
not realizing that this person
I don't
was
see that as like perverted or sus.
I don't see it perverted at all. I just think it's sus for him to want to. Why, just because he saved Harry, why did you put so much into this guy? And why do you have all this tech and all these suits that you're creating? What are you trying to create? Are you trying to create?
Well, because he sees a superhero, and he's like, oh well, maybe if I get in good with him, he could do my bidding.
Well, he wants a superhero at his disposal.
Yeah, in his pocket for sure. Yeah,
absolutely.
100%, yeah.
Especially with some of the comments he makes later, but we'll get there.
Yeah.
So it turns out Peter has this Stark Junior Science Fair Certificate of Excellence.
Mm-hmm.
And then, Norman's looking at it like, okay, this kid is pretty smart. And then Norman offers him an internship. and just like really doesn't question why. Versus the difference between Tony's interaction was he knew he was Spider-Man already, and this time he didn't.
Yeah,
Norman didn't. So whatever. It switches to them at a football game, right? Football game. Nico and
yeah, because this
Peter.
guy's on the football team. Lincoln,
yeah, Lonnie. So Lonnie is playing, and Nico and Peter are sitting in the bleachers, and she's like, "You're gonna work for Norman. He's kind of a shady guy." And then she mentions Roxxon, how Roxxon is known for being a shady corporation.
Mm-hmm. Which he gets a paid internship, which is a sweet deal.
Sweet, yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Which I'm surprised Tony didn't pay.
I mean, he gave him a whole suit and everything, but Norman is paying him. And see, here's the difference, though. Tony really wanted to mentor him.
Yeah.
This dude's trying to buy him.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, so
absolutely.
that's what I think that's the difference there.
That's true. So we get introduced to the internship people. There's 4 students. The first one is John Focal. I don't even know how to say that. So she is an AK finesse, which is basically
Foucault?
Yeah, something.
Okay.
So she Jean. So Jean is her name, but
Taskmaster.
She's so her name is AKA Finesse. She has Taskmaster powers.
Oh.
But she has like you know those widow batons that she has. She has kind of similar to something like that batons where she just kind of
Is that the one that works for? Wait, Jean.
No,
that's not the one that works for Scorpion, right?
No, that's a total different person. She's actually
that's Jessica, isn't it? Or no? I thought it was something with a J.
I don't remember her name, but
she
is a variant of the Scorpion in other comics. But in this version, she's actually just a henchman for that
she's
Scorpion gang.
The right hand man of Scorpion. Yeah.
After that, then we get introduced to Asha from Wakanda. She can manipulate light and turn invisible. So essentially, like,
speaking of sus, you don't think that's sus that someone from Wakanda would go in foreign exchange in New York?
Why?
Like, you don't think she's really trying to send intel back to Wakanda?
Oh, I hear you. I didn't think that, and I still don't believe that, only because of the picture we see in episode 3 of him walking through. Maybe it's episode 4 of him walking through the hallway.
Oh, and so you see the king of Wakanda with
so
Harry.
There's that connection.
And Cap.
Yeah.
With him. Yeah. So the reason I say that is because she's there for basically a science internship.
Yeah.
You have the world's most leading scientist in Shuri, but you go somewhere else. Like, why wouldn't Shuri?
What if we don't know if there's a Shuri here?
Well, if you're saying it's 616 Jason, there's got to be a Shuri there.
Yeah. Well, what if she's not smart in this one?
Okay.
I'm just saying. I'm putting it out there. I don't know, but
I don't know if there's a Doctor Strange there, and if there's all these other people there.
There's no proof yet that there's a Doctor Strange there yet.
That's my point. Is that none of his thing rings say that he can travel through multiverses. That one with the stones on it, let him go to the void, which the void is in that multiverse. Or
no.
Does the void extend over all multiverses?
She opens a portal to their universe. Mm-hmm. So
from the void,
correct. But that means that's like a time, because it has a time stone and the reality stone. So you can go through any point in time with the time stone and reality with the sling ring. So
that one you're saying can travel through multiverses.
Correct. Correct. Okay. And that's why she's like, if you had this, like, she can leave at any point she wants. That's how she opened that portal for all the Deadpools to come out. Yeah. And then to show up to Deadpool's universe. Yeah. Otherwise, she wouldn't have been able to show up there if that wasn't the case with that sling ring.
Yeah, that's I was thinking maybe that the Doctor Strange from that multiverse was the one that went in.
But, what multiverse?
Deadpool and Wolverine's, the 1009.
No,
that's initially what I was thinking. I was like, oh, maybe if it can't travel through multiverses, maybe that's what that was. Is that was, But but anyway, let's keep going. Where were you at?
So Asha,
Yeah.
she's from Wakanda, and then we see.
You said, does she have Komoyo beads?
Yeah, it looks like she does.
I think she does. Yeah.
Yeah, it looks like that's what she has on her wrist, right?
Yeah. And then I didn't check her ears, but maybe her ears.
I didn't either. Good call.
Like Shuri.
Yeah.
I could have sworn I saw earrings on her, because I remember thinking like, oh, that's like Shuri, but I'm not 100%.
Yeah. I initially thought it was Shuri, and then
That's what I thought.
yeah, and then
they said her name, and I was like,
So it's Aisha. Or Asha. Asha. Now we see Amadeus Cho, who's the new Hulk in future comics, and he's actually able to Hulk out similar to Jennifer, where he has full cognitivity. Like he's not like a brute monster.
Yeah.
So he's
not like Bruce. Bruce is the only dumb Hulk.
literally.
Everyone,
except for when he goes smart Hulk.
Right, and I think that's only because he was suppressing that. Maybe because of the accident, he never wanted to be Hulk, so he was like.
Versus Amadeus and Jennifer Walters both accept that.
Yeah,
and I think that's why they're able to.
Which is weird because she didn't want to be Hulk in the series anyway, in the She-Hulk series.
Well, right.
She's like, I don't want to be a Hulk. I'm a lawyer.
She seems to not have too much of a mental trauma where she can.
Yeah, I think it's because Bruce's was an accident. She already knew what a Hulk was.
Agreed.
You know what I mean? So like,
he's the first of it.
He's the first. Like, I don't know what this is. I'm scared of it. Hers, she's like, oh, that's what I am. Okay. But anyway.
Versus Amadeus has seen She-Hulk and the Hulk and kind of is able to come to terms with it, similar to how Jennifer Walters was. So the next person is Amadeus. By the way, his mom was in Age of Ultron. Who is Helen Cho? She's the one.
Oh yeah, the one who helps build Ultron.
Yeah, and also heals Bart.
Bart, yeah.
Barton. Sorry, we both said Bart. I don't know.
Clint Barton. Yeah.
We both said Bart and agreed to it.
I said Bart because you said it. I was like Bart. Yeah. Okay. Clint is what you were thinking of.
Yes.
Shortening. Okay.
Yes, correct. And then Bentley Whitman.
Because you said it, and even in my head, I'm like.
I said it. It didn't
register.
Right
it didn't sound right.
I looked at you like, why did I say this?
Yeah.
But anyway, so Bentley Whitman, aka the Wizard, who's the old man. So he's basically Syndrome from the Incredibles. He creates weapons that simulate and or create superpowers of some sort.
What old man?
The teacher? Yeah, the one that's bitching at all of them.
Oh, Paul F. Tompkins.
Yeah.
Who's voicing him? Okay.
Yeah. So he's been Bentley Whitman.
Okay.
And then we see Carla Connors, who's a variant of the Lizard. And then
so one thing that the actor playing Peter said, that he was worried that this cartoon was going to be too woke, and I agree with what he was saying. Or I understand what he's saying. Is they're changing the race of a lot of characters and they're changing the gender of a lot of characters, and like we got a little bit of that in Into the Spider-Verse, where Doc Ock was a woman, but that made sense because that was a different universe. That's the other reason that makes me think this is a different multiverse, not just adjacent. Because correct me if I'm wrong, but adjacent are they still the same sex and same race?
No,
not necessarily. Like, what's one example?
To Peter B. Parker has Mayday Parker. Our Spider-Man never has a daughter.
Right, but that's not a character that's already established that changes sex.
He gives birth to a child that has powers like him.
Correct. But what I'm talking about, like in the adjacent universes, is there a character that we already know that is either changed race or gender? Like, is Sandman a woman in an adjacent universe in like 616 A or B?
There's not the adjacent, or 616B wasn't established until Across the Spider-Verse. That's not something that's really prevalent in because there's the Ultimates timeline, and the Ultimates timeline, which is where what's his name Miles comes from, and Peter dies in that timeline. So there's too many. There's never been an adjacent.
Yeah.
But I think they established that, and that's why this is. I think they're going to play off of this, is because it worked in that animated movie, and I think it's going to work here. But maybe they don't even establish, and maybe they just never tell us what it is.
Yeah.
I'm using the terminology of a 616 adjacent because of how there's too many parallels that, there's, sex change and race change, but there's too many parallels of how it's happening in our universe to where it's an adjacent to 616. Because if you look at Tobey Maguire's, that's a whole new timeline. That's not a 616 adjacent. Mm-hmm. That's whatever designated number that is. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I say if it's adjacent, it could be 616Z, whatever, the furthest of iteration that we can get. And I don't think there's a hold to race or gender or who gets the spider powers or not. I just think it's certain events that happen, like how Civil War is planning out. Because Civil War in the original 616 comics doesn't happen the way we see it in the MCU. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So that original 616 timeline, Civil War doesn't happen that way. Spider-Man gets shot. So does whatchamacallit. Tony gets shot and dies and then gets brought back to life. And it's actually Sharon Carter that shoots him. There's so much difference in the original Civil War to what we see in the MCU. Mm-hmm. That's what I'm saying. I don't think that 616 is adjacent. I think they're going to eliminate the comic line of 616 at some point, and the main line 616 is going to be the MCU.
Okay.
So there's no right answer. I can be wrong. You can be right. I can be right. You can be wrong. There's no real right answer.
Yeah.
I'm just using that terminology of 616 adjacent because there's too much similarities to what we see in the MCU right now. That's why I think adjacent is the best way to explain it.
Okay.
All
right.
Where are we?
So let's kind of, I don't know, let's just say one more bullet point from episode 2 so we can get on to episode 3.
Well, I was just going through all of the people. Carla Connors, she chooses to work on the energy research division, like the Stark reactor. Mm-hmm. Harry, turns out they're watching the TV. First, they see Harry as like this influencer kind of guy, he's always been popular. But I think this time they're focusing on the influencer / like social media. I get the woke part. Yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah.
So Peter's watching it, and then he sees like this place on fire. So they switch to the news. He leaves and he changes in the hallway. He leaves to go stop the fire. Beats up the villain. Turns out to be the butane guy. We see a symbol.
Who fucking burns the wrong building?
The wrong building. So that's what I was talking about in the comics. That was made prior to the release of this. It talks about who this like corporate conglomerate guy that like owns all this property. He's basically he's
arsonist.
He's just this millionaire that owns a bunch of property in New York. He's probably the guy that sent this guy to go burn that property. But this moron that burned the property is an idiot. So he burnt the wrong one.
Yeah.
But in the comics, that's what.
Yeah.
In the comics that they wrote for this, that's who that guy is.
Oh,
the
okay.
billionaire guy.
And then Peter goes back to Oscorp.
Yep. And that's when Norman calls him into his office and shows him the video of your Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Number 3.
So, secret identity crisis. Peter deals with the fallout of his secret revealed. Meanwhile, Lonnie's perfect life falls apart.
Yeah.
And all these 3 episodes are over 7. They're 7.3. First one's 7.3 on IMDb, right? 7.2 is episode 2, and then 7.4 is episode 3.
Yep.
So they're not doing bad on IMDb.
Not at all. And the last 2, 4 and 5, are 7.5.
Oh yeah, both of them.
Yeah, I'm loving it. It's a really solid series. It's telling enough information in that short period of time, and I feel like the ending is gonna be like, what? That's it? We're gonna have to wait for season 2, because I don't think they can cram that much information into these 10 episodes to like.
Especially if it's only 30-minute episodes. Yeah.
So it opens up with them being in Nico's room. We get to meet Suzanne, who's Nico's foster mom. a little bit of reference to that. What I was saying that her parents are like evil sorcerers. Think about.
No, I got you.
Yes,
keep going.
Okay, cool. Peter goes to Eden to meet Osborn. It's like a restaurant.
Yeah.
Osborn says that he shows him the same footage that Tony shows him about stopping the bus, which is kind of cool. And then Osborn started, he's like, I started an internship to find out who Spider-Man was because I thought one of you four smartest individuals. I have all the smartest people working for me already.
Yeah.
So the only people that are not are young, intelligent men and women. So I assumed by creating this internship, I'd be able to find a person helping Spider-Man. Turns out you're actually that
and
smart
he has the
as
whole
Spider-Man.
He has the whole restaurant to just him and Peter.
Correct.
So they could talk about Spider-Man.
Gave me like Bruce Wayne vibes, like just buying out the place kind of thing. And then so it's creepy that he was able to track him down to thank Spider-Man because this is when he doesn't reveal here that he saved Harry. Does he?
I think it does happen in this episode, but later.
Later, right? That he reveals that,
No, I think it is at the table. Yeah,
You're right,
because I
you're
wanted
right.
to thank you.
You're right, you're right.
That's why he writes him the check. He's like, well,
right.
if you don't...
And then he gives the...
Which is 1,000, right?
I don't remember.
I just saw 1,000. I
something.
don't... It was like the rest of the writing were just scribbled. Like when they only want you to focus on the text they're supposed to read, the other text are just scribble lines.
Out, yeah.
They're not blurred out. It's just scribbly lines.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Peter contemplates... excuse me. He contemplates working with him because he's like, I don't understand why I got the power. I don't understand why it was me of all people. But even if you were to help me, you would be in danger. And that's just classic Peter Parker looking out for, everybody else other than himself.
And he says that too.
Yeah.
Norman says that.
Yeah.
That he's like, well, look at you. He's like, that's exactly why. Because even like you have this, but you're still worried about other people.
Right.
You have all this power, yeah. And
that brought back that scene with William Dafoe and Toby and the roof, where he's like, "You have all this power, and where did that bring you?"
yeah.
I think. You think he turns into the Green Goblin in this series?
I would imagine, yeah. So then, James and Maria put money in the dumpster to buy tech. Yeah. And the fucking dumpster just robots out and is like,
it climbs out.
I'm out.
Lasers come out. What is that?
It's a Windows update. We're good.
Scared me for a second.
Yeah.
So Maria is AKA Triantula. She's from the Heroes for Hire, and James AKA Speed Demons and also Wizard. He was introduced as Wizard first, and then becomes a Speed Demon.
Wizard, not Wizard. Wizard.
Wizard.
Is what we're saying. Yeah.
He's basically Quicksilver or Flash,
but not power enhanced. He uses tech.
No, power enhanced in the comics.
In the comics, but no, I'm talking about here.
Here, yes.
Yeah, here.
He gets tech, and that tech in that suitcase has that weird 8 again on it, like the Butane's gauntlets.
Oh, yeah.
His fire gauntlets.
Looks like an infinity symbol.
Yeah, similar to it.
Yeah.
And then it flips over to Aunt May. She is like selling stuff, what she calls junk. But it's really to pay the bills, and so she pulls out Ben's like bowling shirt, which is really cute. I would totally keep that. Like that was my father figure.
Yeah,
definitely keep that. So Peter seems to he sees the bills then, and he chooses. He's like, all right, cool. I'm gonna do this internship because I gotta help her pay the bills.
Yeah, you see, he sees like 3 past due bills on the little end table in the living room.
So then it flips back to them being at the school. Lonnie is like, hey, I'm so excited for your internship. Congrats, Peter. And then I think Pearl won a meat or something like that. There's a reason why he's trying to reward her. And he's like, lunch is on me. I'm going to buy both of you.
Oh, because their assignment got an A. One of their... The assignment that him and Peter
were doing. Yeah, it was
got an A. They got an A, so then Lonnie tries to pay for the food. And then when he gets to his, it gets declined, and he's like, "Oops!" He goes, "It must have been that pizza I bought, whatever." Yeah. So then he just eats an apple.
Yep.
And then
such a nice guy.
Yeah. So then Lonnie leaves school to help his mom to find out his brother's in trouble and tied up with a gang, and he was brought home by the cops.
Yep.
And then
He escapes out the window.
he Fortnited into his door. He ran in and just busted the door open, and then he's like, he calls him, and then he sees the window open with a ladder.
Yeah.
Which I'm guessing the gang brought and put the ladder up to his window for him to leave. Because it was like a home ladder, not a fire escape.
Really? I didn't catch that.
It was a home ladder leaned up against the wall, or up against the wall up to his window, like literally right. His wasn't a fire escape.
Interesting.
So then cops. So he's in trouble with the cops, and then Lonnie goes out looking for him. Peter goes to stop Maria and James, and then he's getting his ass handed to him by these two.
Oh yeah.
Because he can't keep up with Whizzer, or what was his other name?
Well, his name is just James in this.
Speed Demon.
Yeah.
Okay.
But he
Speed
doesn't
Demon.
call himself that. He's just James.
Oh, okay. Right. And then the girls' gauntlets give her strength, and then they have this like laser dagger on it on top. And then,
which in the comics that she has this like that's on her arm, like it's.
That's part of her arm?
Yeah.
Oh,
no,
sick.
well, not her arm, but part of her suit. Yeah.
Oh, her suit. Okay. And then you hear Norman come over with his intercom. And he's like, God, is that you? And then he's like, no, it's Norman. I tapped into I used my satellite to tap into your phone. The scanner and your phone. But he said to tap into the scanner that's in his suit, in his helmet, and his phone.
Yeah.
And then he's helping him, and he tells... This is where I was talking about the mentoring, because he's telling Peter, like, he's giving him help on how to take down these people.
Yeah.
And then he tells him, like, he actually tells him about Whizzer or Speed Demon, James, his boots. He's like, hey, that much speed, it's got to charge up. It goes, and you might be able to hear that. He goes, so listen for that power change or whatever, or that power up. And then Peter does that, and then he's able to dodge Speed James.
Yeah.
And then...
Because like a light turns on as it charges, and then it ignites.
Yeah, but Peter might not be able to see that light, so he's more focusing on hearing it.
Well, no, it emphasizes...
We see it, but if Peter's facing him, that was on the side of his boot. He might not see that light up.
He saw that. It's Spider-Man. He has excellent vision, and that's why he has...
Okay, I get that he has excellent vision, but he can't peek around. If you're looking at somebody's shoe, you can't tell what's, like, straight ahead. You can't tell what's on the side by his ankle. Not unless he turns. You get what I'm saying? And when he charged at him, he was looking straight at him. That's why he dodged, because he dodged. He just went up. He knew when to time it. That's why I was saying he didn't see that. He heard it. That's why Norman told him, listen to it. And then that's why Peter was listening. He didn't see it, or else he would have said, look for the light when he powers up. You know what I mean? I think it showed us that it was powering up by the light, but Peter was focusing on that, on the sound of it changing and powering up.
I don't think so, but okay.
If you want to think that Peter can look around the corner by standing straight, okay. But like I said, he was straight in front of him. That's why I don't think he focused on the light. He focused on the hearing, because that's what Harry was telling him to focus on. Because to be fair, the whole boot was lighting up while he was running, and it was like charging up with electricity and everything.
No, the boot, it was just the After Effects shadow of the power.
Right. It
wasn't the boot lighting up.
No. I'm saying there was light all over it because of the electricity. So that's what I was trying to say. So then he's helping him, and then Peter winds up using that to his advantage, and then he finds out how to take both of them down. He like ties them up together.
Yeah.
And then
in
all
Peter
crazy.
fashion, he talks shit, and he like gets in their head, and like very similar, like Andrew Garfield-esque with the shit talking and how he
with
fights
the smart aleck.
Yeah. I love it.
Which Tom Holland gave a little bit, not as much as Andrew Garfield.
Right, Andrew Garfield sold the shit out of it way better.
Like we got more of that in Civil War, like when he's fighting.
Yeah.
Like he's like, hey, you forgot this, or you know what I mean? Like, hey, you dropped this.
But it's like quick puns versus like Andrew Garfield's shit talking is like legit. Like,
Oh, he's literally like,
he's like, oh, my favorite tiny knives. Like,
yeah.
It's super patronizing.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, absolutely.
yeah. I think Andrew Garfield did the best at that part of Spider-Man. Oh my god, at that part of Spider-Man. You're trying to see that part?
Yeah.
He's literally right in front of him. So then that episode ends, and then we have episode 4 hitting the big time. Peter and Norman work through creative differences.
You missed that. After he wraps them up, that's when he sees that this is where Peter puts it together that both of their tech has the same.
Oh, the symbol, yeah.
Correct. And then after that, it shows Lonnie giving himself up to Big Don in place of his little brother.
Yeah, that was so cliche. That kind of annoyed me. I was like, oh my god, really? Yeah, dude, in all these superhero movies, it's like, oh, take me instead. It's so cliche. It's so cliche. I'm kind of like over it. I'm like, really? Like that's such the whole I have a bright future ahead of me, but now I got to get into this to save this person. Like it's super cliche to me.
But that's
no, I get it. Just speaks to his character of how good of a guy he is. I get that, but
right. But that's Peter's world. That's how, you know.
I get what you're saying. Like it doesn't change the fact that it's really cliche of like a good guy saying take my place instead. That's all I'm commenting
I think
on.
it's cliche for you because you see it everywhere else. But I think this fits perfect for the world of Spider-Man.
Yeah, that's the definition of cliche is that you see it a lot of other places. That's what I was just like. It was nothing new to me. I was just like, oh, okay, he's taking the place of his. I saw that coming. Like it wasn't a surprise or anything. So, Peter. Yeah. So then Peter goes to talk to Norman, but in the hallway we see a better view of pictures of him and like what we talked about earlier.
Yeah.
Versus him and Cap, and then him and
because we saw him and Cap when he
T'Chaka,
first went
right?
to. When he first went to whatchamacallit's office.
Yeah.
And now we see, the second picture, and it's a clear picture of Norman and T'Chaka, who we find out again passes in this next episode.
Mm-hmm.
This episode we find out. Harry says that his dad isn't that scary, and he's like, "You're pretty young, you can outrun him." At this point, he doesn't know that he's Spider-Man yet, but he.
Peter doesn't know that he knows, right?
No, Harry doesn't know.
Oh, Harry, you said. Sorry, I thought you meant
Harry doesn't know.
Oh no, yeah.
At the end of this.
Sorry, I thought you were talking about Norman. No. Sorry, go ahead.
Because he seemed like sad and intimidated going in there.
Yeah.
And Harry was coming out.
Right.
Harry's like, he's not that bad.
Sorry, I because we were talking about the Norman picture, so Norman was still in my head. Okay,
gotcha.
go ahead.
So then, and then he ends up putting this "do not disturb" situation on in his office. Yeah. Gave me like that barn door protocol vibes from Avengers Endgame.
Actually, it more gave me the what was that privacy mode that Fury does in his office, where the window in Winter Soldier, where the windows come down, the windows go dark, and then he tries to open up that flash drive.
Yeah. I didn't think about that. I haven't seen that in Winter Soldier. I haven't watched it in a while. I used to watch it often, like once a month.
Mm-hmm.
Which that's what I think the vibe of Thunderbolts is going to give us.
Yeah, hopefully, because that was a good movie.
Yeah. So they talk about the Sokovia Accords, and then they watch on the TV the airport scene with from Civil War, from the movie that we know.
And it was literally a shot for shot. It was when Ant-Man went to Giant Man and grabbed War Machine.
Correct.
And he was holding him.
Grabs Rhodey, and on the left is Cap, and on the right is Bucky. It's the same shot.
It's the same, yeah.
But now we know that Spidey wasn't there. Peter wasn't there to be part of Team Iron Man.
Yeah.
So, who do you think Tony recruited?
Maybe he didn't.
He just went in shorthanded?
Maybe it was just T'Challa, War Machine, Vision,
Black Widow,
and maybe that's it.
Shang-Chi, maybe, you think?
I don't know. I don't see their paths crossing.
No.
I say more Wong. Well, like Wong found him, so I see more of that happening. But go ahead.
Wong's a good an option.
Or maybe Doctor Strange.
Well,
Maybe he gets Doctor Strange instead.
I'm still stuck on. I don't think Doctor Strange exists yet.
No, dude, we're talking about in that.
Right.
Yeah.
There's not. I don't think there's a Doctor Strange because of what Peter says. Because Peter doesn't recognize Doctor Strange, so I don't think there is a Doctor Strange in this universe yet. Steven hasn't had the car accident to have the, or he's in Kamartaj.
Right, that's what I was saying. Yeah, so maybe he finds out about what he's doing over there in Kamartaj.
They butt heads too much. They hate each other. I think in every multiverse, they've never liked each other. Doctor Strange and Tony, they've never liked each other. They've always been assholes to each other.
Yeah, because they're both narcissists.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
yeah.
That's exactly why.
All right, yeah. So and then
So Ant-Man, Bucky, Okay, cool. So yeah, the whole Sokovia Accords. It's the same timeline as the MCU.
Yeah.
But Norman recruited Peter and not Tony. And then we start seeing some suits made by Norman.
So this whole suits montage was cool. It was funny, and it reminded me of the Spider-Man 2 game, because in that game you have like Peter has like more than 20 suits, and so does Miles, and then some of the suits have just alternate color schemes. Yeah. So it kind of reminded me of that. And then when the first suit popped up with a cape, I'm like, that's not gonna work.
No.
The cape is not gonna work.
Yeah.
And sure enough, he gets caught and then wrapped up in the cape, and then they start beating him like a piñata.
3 of the 4 that were featured in the comics, this happens where there's a whole other team. What are they called? What the hell are they called?
So
there's another team that takes on all of those different mantles that we just see, and the like Panther glider looking guy, the little Thor looking guy, and then the other one, the bug flying one,
Hornet,
and then the Hornet, and then there's a 4th one. So he uses different alternate suits or whatever, and then he ends up giving those suits, and the superhero team is kind of created from them.
Oh.
But this happens in the comics where he takes different mantles to try to like switch it up. It obviously just doesn't work.
I just like when Peter sees that first suit, he's like, I just hear Thor saying, "You're not worthy."
Yeah.
Like, and then I like the Hornet suit, and then he gets caught on a windshield just like a flying bug. He's like stuck on the windshield. The car's just driving. And then the all black suit, just looks the like flying squirrel suit.
Yeah.
Just looked weird. It looked scary. So the little girl that he tried helping just scared of him, crying.
That was hilarious.
That was totally funny.
So after the whole suit montage and all of them failing, and him realizing none of them are just really him at all, so it switches to Big Don mentioning the Scorpions, who are a new rival gang in town.
Yeah. Does he get his final suit then or later?
A little bit later. It cuts to Norm. Then it cuts back to. Oh no, Big Don gives Lonnie a task to go get some food from some place, right? Yeah. And it just so happens to be in the Scorpion territory.
Not just so happened; it was meant like he specifically ordered for that.
Well, right, but Lonnie has no idea this is happening.
Oh yeah,
and this was deliberate. Big Don put him on. So it switches back to Norman, and on his screen he has 3 headlines up. The first one is the UN bombing the King of Wakanda dead. So that's similar to the Winter Soldier.
No, to Civil War.
So, I'm sorry, Civil War. Yeah. I'm sorry. I meant to how they framed
the Winter Soldier. Yeah.
And I would imagine Baron Zemo is a thing very similar to this. If not Baron Zemo, then
well, yeah, he's the one who blew that up.
Right.
Yeah.
And if not Baron Zemo, maybe
no, he didn't. Sorry, that was Bone Crusher. Bone Crusher had that makeshift bomb. And then,
no, that was Lagos.
No, sorry, I'm thinking of something else. That was that was a different time.
That's Lagos, the beginning of Civil War.
Right, of Civil War, but I was thinking of that's when he kills the king.
Correct.
But the bombing,
somebody's wearing a mask.
That happens later in Civil War. Yeah.
Yes.
I was thinking of the part where Wanda threw up Bone Crusher and
in
exploded.
the beginning of the movie.
Yeah,
Right.
I was thinking of that part, but
Yeah,
that
and
was
Lagos.
that was not the killing of the king. Sorry,
Correct.
I was mixing up the bombings. Okay,
So this is the UN bombing. The
yeah,
response for Lagos. That's the third screen on the far right, and that's showing the Lagos bombing.
and then the Avengers disassembled.
Correct. No, the third one. The third one is
Yeah,
the
no, I'm
Lagos.
saying the other one was the
Oh,
Avengers.
the middle one, right?
Yeah,
The Avengers assembled, and it's
Do you think-
Tony and Cap looking dead at each other.
yeah, kind of like the cover in our poster here, but that cover of the. Do you think Cap yells out "Avengers disassemble"
No,
instead of
absolutely
"Avengers assemble"?
not at all.
That was an email blast.
Yeah.
Avengers disassemble.
No, he sent
And a text
a
on the-
T9
on-
text on his little flip phone.
On the flip. Yeah.
What else? Oh, so Norman mentions Ultron by saying they shut down a mad AI that they themselves created. So Ultron existed in this universe. He doesn't directly say Ultron, but that's what the mad AI is. I'm
Yeah,
assuming.
obviously. Yeah.
Obviously. So that means Vision does exist because I think Vision comes from that. So I think the Infinity Stones are relevant because Vision comes from the Infinity Stone
Right.
in the MCU.
Yeah.
Another reason why I like that adjacent theory, because there's certain key things, almost like absolute points, that you can change the sex of somebody. You just can't change certain events that are happening, you know? Yeah. Let's see. And then he mentions the Hulk by saying that heroes are just one bad day away from a gamma-fueled rampage, which is... When did he go? Oh, yeah, when they're off the coastline of somewhere where they go to stop Ultron from taking the vibranium from Claw, and then the witch kind of messes with Banner's mind, and then the Hulk flips out. That's where the Hulkbuster comes in. So a lot of like, they're really, really paying homage to a lot of things that are happening in Civil War.
Okay.
And
then this is where he gets his new suit, and you think it looks like the Future Foundation suit?
looks identical to it, with the exception of the side panels, right?
Yeah, but I think it looks more like the anti-symbiote suit, which is all white, and it's literally got the same scheme except that stripe down the center, or down the side of them.
It's the Future Foundation shoot. I'm 1,000%.
Okay, I'm not arguing that, but what I'm saying is, to me, it looks more like the anti-symbiote suit, which is the all-white suit that...
But he hasn't been introduced to...
No, I know that, but what I'm saying is, to me, that's what I see when I see that. I see the anti-symbiote suit, because anti-symbiote suit is all white, and then it's got the black... Literally the black, just like how the spider is. It's got that on that one.
I mean, I hear you, but it's not.
Are you looking up the Future Foundation
Yeah,
suit?
I know it is. This is the Future Foundation suit. It's literally...
Okay, but on the in this one, it's
has
not
the
that
blue
color.
side.
Yeah, it's a different color.
Yeah.
And it's still...
But I know it's the Future Foundation suit because of the emblem in the middle. And the Anti-Venom one, I'll show you right now. Look, this is the cartoon, right? The new series. It's literally the same suit.
Right,
Just
but in
with the
this
blue on the
series,
side.
in the series, they changed the color up. Yeah.
Yeah, and in this series and in this universe, there could be a Fantastic Four. Because Reed Richards creates this for the Future Foundation, and it is a program for young heroes to kind of excel. And so that's why Reed gives him this suit. So with Fantastic Four coming out, there's no way they're going to... And another
I'm not saying that this suit is the anti-symbiote suit. I'm not saying that at all. I'm saying when I see it, that's what I think of. I don't think of Future Foundation suit. I see more. To me, the look of it looks more anti-symbiote to me than. I get that one looks. Yeah, it is.
Look at the chest. To see how there's more prongs to it.
Yeah, no, I get that. And then the black part goes up higher. Yeah, like I said, when I first saw his suit, that's what I thought of. I didn't think of the Future Foundation suit. I saw that first, I thought of that first. So then Peter takes the new suit out for a spin, and then Norman is the guy in the chair.
Yeah.
Which he says, too, he's like, I could be the dude in the chair, which is taking fucking Ned's line, basically. So then you see a bank robbery, and see Mikhail, the father of Alexei, a.k.a. the Rhino. So that's what I was going to say. that this is that dude. They're setting it up for him to be the Rhino.
No, that's just the Rhino's dad.
Oh, that's the Rhino's dad?
Yes.
Oh, so
Yes.
that's where they dropped the Easter egg of the Rhino.
Correct.
Because when he talks in the next episode, he talks about, oh, you look like a rhino. And she goes, no, I'm a unicorn. Yeah.
In the comics, that's who she is, the unicorn.
The unicorn,
She first... It's a guy. Yes, it's a guy.
That doesn't surprise me that they changed up the sex on, this, on that
I think
person,
I put the name down. What was the name?
So then Peter...
Oh, at the end. Okay.
Yeah, so then they're doing a bank robbery, and then she bails on them because they're about to get caught. And then she's like, I'll come back for you, and jumps out.
Yeah, and she takes a bag of money with her.
Yeah, and then she takes a bag of money, and then Peter shows up to Norman's office, takes off his mask, and he just in mid-sentence, and then Norman's like, no, I've got people here. And then, which is just like Peter, just go in, not scope out. Iron Man would have, pulled a end game and just surveil the whole area before he goes in.
Yeah.
Kind of like he did on the tower. And then, so Mila is, aka, like you said, the unicorn. What?
So in the comics,
it's Milo.
It's Milo.
Yeah.
And it's a guy. The unicorn is a guy. And he first goes against Iron Man.
So they're kind of they're changing up a lot of characters, but just keeping the same superhero part.
Right. So they are essentially, they're just variants. It's really what it is.
Yeah, it's pretty much variants.
Whether it's the sex or the race is being changed.
Yeah, they're just variants, yeah. And then they get a bag of money, and we see who they're buying the tech from, and it turns out to be Doc Ock.
Yeah.
And he's the one making all these weapons. He's the one with the 8 or infinity symbol on it. And I have a theory on why he's doing this.
Well, it's not an infinity symbol. We know it's an 8.
Right, but I'm saying it's an 8, but it's it's in the way of an infinity symbol because it's sideways, is it not?
Oh, we look at it sideways. They do that to deceive you so you don't think it's Doc Ock.
Oh, okay, because I saw it on its side.
Yeah, we all see it that way to deceive you.
Okay.
But now that
I thought that's the way that the symbol was. I didn't know it was
it's
up
Doc
and down.
Ock. It's actually
an
sideways.
8. Yeah, it's
for
an 8.
For Ock,
Okay.
Yeah.
So and then
because I was like, what is this 8? What is this? 2 zeros, double zeros? I didn't think 8 until I saw Doc Ock.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, it's a fucking 8.
Yeah.
The whole time.
And it's the classic look from the comics and
Love
animes.
it.
Yeah.
Love
All of them
it.
are because Doctor Strange was.
Oh yes, absolutely.
Cap is, Iron Man is. It's yellow, not goldish. So yeah, they're keeping that theme.
Do you think, just to follow the track of them switching genders?
Is Iron Man a woman?
No.
Oh.
No. It's clear.
They say Tony Stark.
Yeah.
Tony could be with an I. Tony Braxton.
True. No, I'm thinking, what if Strange is a girl?
In this one? Well, we still don't know if that Doctor Strange is from there yet. You have a high probability you're saying that he's not from there?
Yeah.
But
it looks like he opened a portal from another dimension. I don't think he came from there. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
It could be kind of like how in She-Hulk when he opened that dimension to that demon world. And that was just
Wong did?
No, not Wong, that fake magician. Remember where it could be something like that. Which we know for sure he can do in multi-dimension. I have a theory on
but that's just hell in our universe. I mean, in the
right.
616.
So, like I said, maybe it's from that type of place here. But anyway, I have a theory as to why Doc Ock is doing all this, selling off weapons, is to get enough money for him to make his 4 mechanical arms.
Oh, to put the power
to get
in
enough,
his hands?
Yeah, to get enough money so that he can make that reactor or make the. Well, no, because that was separate from his arms. He used his arms to make that or to manipulate that.
Well, he created those arms because he physically can't.
Correct. Yeah, he can't touch that stuff,
Yeah.
and that's what I'm saying. But I'm saying he's doing that to just make the arms, not necessarily make that reactor thing. He's just getting enough money to fund. Basically, he's trying to fund that part of that project.
I feel like if he was able to create all these other technologies, he should be able to have created what he did.
I don't know, because those are separate. Those are like analog things. I feel like that one has to deal with his brain. that taps into his spine and his nervous system. So I would imagine those are way more expensive. That would be way more expensive.
Doc Ock became a villain because of that.
Correct. Yeah.
So I don't think that's the case. I think he's trying to make enough money so that he can become like this criminal empire.
Kingpin style?
Yes, but he does it in the comics, where he is selling tech to make like
more crime.
More crime and like an even playing field.
Uh-huh.
Man, it'd be nice to see them do the Superior Spider-Man, like Doc, because
where Harry switches brains. No,
not Harry.
Not Harry. Ock.
Peter. Yeah, Peter switches. Well, Doc Ock installs his consciousness
into Peter.
And
doesn't he swap it?
Oh, he does.
Yeah,
it's a total mind swap.
Yeah,
I think, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, and then Peter dies in Ock's and Otto Octavius's body. So it's just that, and he turns out to be a better Spider-Man. Like he has the suit and like the whole 4 arms coming out and everything.
Yeah.
I think he already has the tech. I think because they already said that Doc Ock isn't going to pay off until season 2. So he's not going to be the main villain of this season. That whatever he's planning is going to be in season 2, which I'd love to see Superior Spider-Man. I think it'd be dope. Right. He's one of the superior Spider-Mans I think we've ever seen.
But so then Harry and Peter start talking and get to know each other, and then Harry walks in and basically tells that he feels Harry should be a part of Team Spider-Man. Mm-hmm. And then this is where Harry finishes his father's sentence saying he could be Peter's dude at the desk. And then is Ned's line, and then Norman's like, well, I wasn't gonna say it like that, but yeah, basically. So then they're talking a little bit, and then Harry offers Peter a ride to school because he says he's gonna be late. He should leave before he's late. And then everyone sees Harry and Peter pull up to his school. He gets out, and everybody's like, oh my god, he's with Harry. You would have thought he was fucking with a superstar celebrity, which kind of is.
Yeah,
because he's social
totally
media. Yeah. So then,
and everyone knows that he's Harry Osborn's son.
Oh yeah,
I'm sorry,
sure.
Norman Osborn's son.
Yeah. So then, Miko says to be careful about Harry because he's a social media celebrity, and if he gets big enough, he will own a lot of businesses, and then eventually get into politics, and then she will have to join the rebellion against him.
Yeah, that escalated quick.
Yeah,
the way to paint this long-term picture, 10-year things.
She already has a timeline ready. Yeah. So then, well, I mean, then we see more about what happens with the what's her name breaks them out of jail, right? Unicorn.
Oh yeah, Mila.
Yeah, Mila. breaks them out. And she's got the helmet thing. It was a little like Peacemaker-y, where Peacemaker has like different helmets to do different things, and I think one of them,
John Cena's.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, one of them shot a laser out. I think.
Did it?
It did something, and that's what I was thinking. I was like, oh, this is kind of like, because it even looks like Peacemaker's helmet too, in a little bit, because it goes like right here. It's like around. It's kind of like shaping a little bit, with just without the little horn on it.
I guess because I never finished Peacemaker, so I don't know.
Oh, dude, he's got like fucking a bunch of helmets, and each helmet does a different thing. I think one of the helmets makes him go invisible. Yeah, dude, the dad is the one who makes the helmets. Peacemaker's dad, but his dad is like a huge racist, and yeah, so she breaks them out, and then Peter's fighting Mila.
The helmet is pretty comic-ish accurate.
Yeah, nice.
Ish. So this is what the helmet looks like.
Oh, it's just okay, but in this one, it's just the top half. It's not the whole.
Not
thing.
the whole. It's not like a full helmet.
Yeah,
it's just more like Steve's.
You know what the comic accurate one reminds me of?
The Crimson Chin from what's it called? Crimson Chin from Fairy Godparents.
Oh no, not Fairy Godparents. Do you remember those old like weird? I think they were like underwater things that had the little like circle, like a little horn, and and it had like a little circle, and it was like all orange and stuff. And they had like different shapes. I don't remember what it's from. I just remember
This
it's
is
like
what
it's an old
Do
cartoon.
you ever watch the Iron Man Armored Adventures, the animated series?
Armored Adventures? I think so, but not. I don't remember too much from it.
So it was Tony was the AI, and it's a new Iron Man, and this is what he looks like in that one.
Oh, okay. So yeah, it always was a guy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, she breaks them out, and then they start fighting, and so this helmet also it's a little taskmastery where it can like analyze movements and like predict what's gonna happen.
There's some AI tech too.
Yeah, so she starts being able to dodge or like anticipate Peter's movements.
Yes.
So she starts messing him up. As she takes him down, and then she realizes his weakness because he's like, all the people left. So he goes, now I got nothing to worry about because they're all gone.
Yeah.
So he goes, now you messed up. And then she sees that, or she realizes his, like, what's his weakness because he doesn't want anybody else to get hurt.
Yeah.
So she targets
her own dad. Oh, no. So not her own dad.
Lexi's dad.
Lexi's dad,
yeah. Mikhail. And then she goes to blast him, and then Peter jumps in the way and takes it. And, dude, at first, it looked like the blast went through him and created a hole. When I first saw it, I was like, dude, because it showed him get hit and then fall, but it showed the blast continue. You know what I mean? So it's like if it hit him, pushed them down, and then the blast kept going.
Got it.
So I saw the blast.
At that scene.
Yeah, I saw the blast go past. Maybe I saw it quickly. I don't know. But I saw that.
Maybe it just split past him.
Yeah, or that. But I swear I saw that shit go past him.
I think I vaguely
and I was like,
that too.
Dude, did
That's
it go
why
through
I'm
him?
thinking maybe it just hit him and split.
Yeah.
That's why it continued.
It ricocheted, yeah. 100% I buy that, yeah. But they hit the floor. He's just like knocked out, and then Mikhail was like, "What the hell?" He goes, "You were aiming at me." He goes, She's like, "I knew he was gonna jump in front of you."
Yeah.
And he's like, "But you're risking my own life." So then that kind of pisses him off,
and
then
takes the helmet off.
He takes the helmet off, and then this girl's like getting at him, like, you don't make the order, or you don't tell him. What did she say? Like, you don't make the orders, or you don't make the rules here. I do.
Yeah.
Basically, or you don't bark orders. I do. And then, as she's about to put it on, Peter web slings and pulls it.
Yeah.
Back, and then she's like, ah. And then, the cops come, right?
Yeah, and he turns himself over.
Yeah.
Peacefully.
Yeah. So then, she's like, you don't know what you've done. Now we're gonna rot in jail and blah blah.
Yeah. And he kind of just accepts his fate.
Yeah, and then
but the other two got away.
Yeah, they dipped. They're like, "Hey, this is our time to leave." While she's dealing with that, and he wanted to stay there to help her, or, to be with her. And then, is it after this all happens? Lionel's stuff.
Yeah.
Lonnie
Yeah.
Lincoln. I don't know why I got Lionel.
Me neither.
I think I combined them, but so then
this whole like
gang war,
happens.
I got a little Warriors.
Yeah,
vibe,
West Side Story totally got that vibe. Yeah,
that's not West Side Story. That's Warriors. I'm like, what the fuck? You're talking about the Jets and the Sharks? Is that what you're talking about?
Yes, I don't know why I said.
I was like, what?
Yes, the Warriors. But both
technically. Actually, it's probably more closer to the Jets and the Sharks, because those are two gangs fighting. It's just a musical number happens instead of a fight. Or is it a fight musical? I don't remember really watching that movie. I just remember my dad loved that movie. So then they go to fight, and then we finally see Scorpion.
Yeah.
He makes his appearance, and
but he's not in like comic accurate suit or nothing.
Well, he's not in a suit yet. He's kind of the way we saw him at the end of Homecoming in jail.
Yes, that's what I was going to say.
He has the tattoo and stuff, and then he's talking shit to Big Don, and then Big Don says, "You got 3 seconds to leave," and then the Scorpion's just like, "Oh, you mean 1, 2, 3?" And then they all just charge, and then a big ass fight happens, and then Scorpion makes his way through, but he brings out knives, and I almost wanted like knives to have a toxin on it, kind of the way Scorpion has a toxin in his tail.
Yeah.
I thought that was gonna happen, and then I kind of thought that was gonna lead to what he nicknames Lonnie. I thought because I saw him getting in the way of Big Don. So I thought he was gonna get stabbed, which I was right about. But I thought that was gonna play into what he becomes later. So then Scorpion takes out those knives and he's walking to him, and then to Don, and then Lonnie's like, "Watch out!" Which I was like, "Dude, that was your ticket out." Just be like, and then just walk the other way. Yeah. Let him just like that gets all stabbed and just be like, "All right, off to football practice now." Like you're done with the gang. Instead, you're like, "Big Don, watch out!"
But it's just the good guy in him.
Yeah, he doesn't want anybody to get hurt. Yeah, I get it. He should have been thinking about the long game on that one.
No, I agree.
I'd have been like, "What's that, a quarter?" You know. Yeah.
Look at the moon. Yeah, so pretty.
Yeah. Is that a bat signal? Oh wait, wrong universe. You know, like, but yeah. So then he tackles Scorpion.
Yeah,
and then
he gets stabbed.
He gets stabbed in the arm, and then the cops come and everybody scatters, and then they get back to the Big Don's lair. I don't know, warehouse.
Hideout, warehouse.
Yeah. I think hideout is a better. It's not a lair. It's a hideout. Lair is more hidden. I feel like it has like security protocols to get into. They just open the door and they're in there. Yeah. So yeah, they get back to there, and then he's like, you know, I had my doubts about you, but I see you're true. And then he tells him, he's like, all right, you got to do one thing for me. You got to stop calling me superstar. And I was like, fucking thank you, Lonnie, because that shit was annoying the fuck out of me. Him calling, hey, superstar. So I'm like, dude, enough. That's so stupid to keep
He was talking shit on purpose,
right? But it was still annoying as fuck. He's just hearing superstar all the damn time. He's like, all right, and then somebody calls him grave something or
I don't remember.
Grave digger or something like that. I think it was grave digger, and then Big Don's like, nah, because I'm gonna call you Tombstone, and which is pretty much setting him up to become Tombstone. Tombstone is like this kind of dead style guy, right? Tombstone reminds me of Solomon Grundy in DC,
but not as zombie-ish.
Yeah, he's more like still has his brain about him, like still has his smarts, I guess you could say.
I think he's just more of like I don't remember how he gets his powers.
But his skin is like totally grayed out. And Tombstone is.
But he's solid like a tombstone.
Right. Yeah, but that's what I'm saying.
Concrete.
So is that all it is that his skin just looks like a tombstone, not that he's dead?
Correct.
Oh, I always saw him as like deadish. So he's just a solid mass. Okay.
Tombstone.
That's why he's called Tombstone. Huh. So yeah, then that episode ends, and that's the first 5 episodes.
Yeah, I think great start, first half.
Yeah. It's not a bad series so far.
Not at all.
They are changing a lot of what we know. Oh, I never said this, or I don't know if I did, but I was thinking that the parallels were, my theory on that was to keep the fans of the MCU tied to this that aren't nerds like us and follow Spider-Man, you know, religiously and know everything and know his backstory. So they're taking stuff that happened in the MCU and tying it to this, but just changing certain things for this series. That's what I was seeing the changes were to like keep some of the MCU fans that aren't diehard, you know, comic fans and know about it. Like, keep their attention to this series. And then maybe a way to explain it is that it's a different multiverse. Because it's clearly not the MCU.
No, it's definitely not the MCU.
Yeah.
I think that just adds more weight to my theory of adjacent to keep people close to the MCU projects.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's the series so far. We got another 5 episodes to go.
Yeah. Which
hopefully they just get better and we don't get too much of a lull in it.
Would you look at that?
What?
So I know what Earth this is.
What is it?
It is Earth TRN 1450.
Ha. So I was right. It's not adjacent.
Not adjacent.
Ha ha! In your face.
Well,
No, I'm just kidding.
I'm admitting to it.
I know,
Yeah.
but you were thinking it was more adjacent. I had a feeling it was
What the
something
hell
way.
is Earth TRN?
I don't know. I feel like it's just Earth. Oh.
Use as an artificial, as an article.
What was the number designation? What was it? 112?
TRN 1450.
1450? Oh, okay. Interesting.
So actually, I lied. That's the unofficial designated number.
Oh, it's not confirmed? Or
It's
whatever?
not
It's the
confirmed.
unofficial?
Yeah, Marvel Wiki says that's the unconfirmed.
Okay.
So articles related to Earth TRN 1450 reality.
But nowhere is it saying that it's an adjacent timeline to the MCU
No.
so far.
It just says unconfirmed. So that's just what they designated now, I guess, until we find out.
So TRN might be that unconfirmed thing.
Maybe,
like,
yeah.
You know. Yeah, so
Temporarily right now.
yeah, that could be it. I was trying to think of that too. What the acronym could be. So we got the next half coming up. We have Captain America: Brave New World,
Which
soon.
I am more and more. I didn't have any like huge hype for it originally, and I'm seeing some of these trailers and it looks fucking dope.
Yeah. So with that being said, any final predictions that you think? The reason I bring that up is because I wonder and I hope, because in the trailers we see Red Hulk versus Cap. We even get the line. I don't know if it's going to be in the movie, but he goes, "I really should have taken that serum. Or I wish I would have taken that serum now." Do you think there's going to be a surprise cameo there to help him? And who do you think that would be? I don't see this happening, but I think a cool cameo would have been Hulkling from She-Hulk.
It's not Hulkling.
Sorry. But that
Scar.
Scar.
Yeah.
Thank you. Sorry, I couldn't remember his name, so I just said Hulkling.
Hulk's son.
Yeah, Hulk's son. I think would have been a freaking perfect place to put him in. Am I saying that's going to happen? I don't.
Probably
I
not.
doubt it. I 100% doubt that that's going to be in there.
You're right, but
If it is,
'cause
boom, you heard it here first.
He needs some power. You know?
He needs somebody that can at least keep up with the Hulk or just delay the Hulk. That's because the most Sam could do is just fly away from him.
Bucky
But
is in this, right?
I don't know.
He's in the room when Isaiah Bradley's there, right? When Isaiah
yeah, I
Bradley
think you're
comes
right.
out?
Yeah, at the White House.
Because he's a
think so.
congressman.
Who is?
Bucky.
Bucky's a congressman?
Yeah, even in Thunderbolts, he's a congressman.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, he has the lapel badge of the American flag on his suit. He's a full-on congressman. Yeah,
I did not know this.
I don't think that's comic book accurate. That's something new to the MCU.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's a congressman.
Oh shit, I didn't know that. Yeah, so he's in it, but I think they're gonna save most of his stuff for
There
Thunderbolts.
is one end credit scene.
Yeah, there's only one.
I gotta imagine.
And we know Falcon's gonna be in it, but he has basically the same power set as Cap. Just Cap has a shield.
What? What do you mean?
The Falcon. We know Falcon's gonna be in this movie. The new Falcon, the Javier, El Falcon.
Yeah.
So we know he's gonna be in it, but he's like I said, he's just the same thing as Cap. He just doesn't have a shield now.
And not a vibranium suit.
Correct, but he's like I meant same skill set. So like he had the wings and flies.
Yes.
And I'm sure he's gonna have guns like Falcon had or Cap had when he was just Falcon. So I'm wondering, do you think She-Hulk will make an appearance or Bruce? I don't see them bringing in Bruce. Do you think Bruce will come in
Maybe Bruce and She-Hulk are
together?
no are the cameo.
That's what I'm saying. Do you think that they'll bring them two in to help with Hulk?
No, only as I'm sorry, not the cameo, as the end credit, because we know that Betty Ross is supposed to be in this.
Yeah.
And she's at a funeral.
Doesn't she become Crimson?
Yeah, Red Hulk.
Red She-Hulk? Yeah. Huh. So, yeah.
You think maybe she helped stop her dad? Nah, I don't think they reveal that too this early.
And we only know her to be in the funeral scene, right?
Right.
Well, maybe they're keeping that under wraps. I see more of that than She-Hulk and Bruce coming in.
Well, I think She-Hulk and Bruce are going to be there for maybe like consulting Thaddeus Ross at the end in the end credit scene.
Here's my end credit scene. This whole movie has to deal with adamantium, right?
I know.
Hulk. I mean, Wolverine, dude. That's got to be it.
You think it's Henry Cavill?
Give it to me.
Oh, that'd be crazy.
Hell yeah, dude.
Like a variant of some sort.
Calverine, son.
That's. I this is the first time I have no idea what the end credit scene's gonna be.
Ooh, doggy.
I have like.
Well, what do you think? Just any other predictions for Brave New World?
Thaddeus doesn't die for sure. He's gonna be around. He's gonna be depowered and have like, you know how
Abomination?
Yes, but Bruce created that arm thing to like depower himself.
Yeah. It was in She-Hulk, the ankle bracelet that she had on when she gets put in jail. She-Hulk.
Right.
So that thing.
So that's what they're gonna keep him at bay.
So you think that happens?
Because I think Red Hulk would.
Thanos took the Power Stone. It died.
Oh.
Your purple died. Shit. Now we gotta go get the Power Stone back. God damn it.
Yeah.
All right. So yeah, any other predictions? How much of a focal point do you think adamantium is gonna be? Because it's the whole thing that Thaddeus is after. He's like, I want to be the first ones, because he's America's pissed that Wakanda has the vibranium. That's clear.
The world is pissed.
No, but more. Oh no, you can't, because the French were after it too.
Yeah, and more Val, the CIA, is pissed.
Well, yeah, that's what I was going with. I was like, Val is really wants it, because even what's the colonizer name? I forget. Everett Ross. He was even like, can you imagine what the world would be like if America had that vibranium? And Val's like, oh, I dream of that.
Yeah.
So I think this whole movie is going to be the race to adamantium.
Yeah.
Because it's the hand that comes out is basically all adamantium, right?
Yeah, and his head is out.
In his head, right?
But the rest of the body is underwater.
Yes. So, but that's not like near civilization, right? That's like in the middle. That's like by
Somewhere
Antarctica or whatever the fuck.
Ocean.
Yeah.
It's
near
the middle in the Gulf of America.
Ew.
You know they changed it in Google?
Only for America.
So stupid.
It's only in America that it's like that. Everywhere else sees it as
big.
Gulf of Mexico, and it still is.
So dumb.
Yeah, it's dumb. Because it borders more of Mexico than it does America. It's so stupid.
It's because all that used to belong to Mexico. That's why it was called the Gulf of Mexico until the United States.
Up to California, right? And then this
It's all of Texas. All of Texas and the lower states outside of Florida, which is what they call it.
Oh, I thought it went up towards Cali.
Florida was one of the original 13 colonies.
Yeah. So that's not true. It's from like Virginia up.
Florida wasn't one of the original colonies?
No. It's from like the middle, Virginia, Maine.
What?
Yeah.
Maybe I got that wrong. Maybe
oh
you're
my
right.
God.
It's been a minute.
History lesson now. So no other final predictions? The end credit scene's got to be something to either deal with
Wakanda.
Captain America.
It's gonna set up Wakanda 3.
Captain America 2, which in reality is more like Captain America 5.
It's gonna set up Wakanda. Now I'm determined that it's gonna set up Wakanda, the third movie.
Oh, the third Black Panther movie?
Yeah. Because of the race for vibranium, and
No, you mean adamantium?
I'm sorry. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you think it's going to tie into Black Panther? Not. What else do we have coming out in the future that we know of?
I was right. Florida is part of the original 13 colonies.
Nah, really? It goes all the way that far down?
The 13 colonies traditional were New England, New Hampshire, Massachusetts, Rhode Island, Connecticut, New York, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, Delaware. The southern colonies were Maryland, Virginia, North Carolina, South Carolina, Georgia, where British America also included territories like South, the Floridas, Caribbean, and Canada. Yes, motherfucker.
Canada? How the fuck is that part of the 13 colonies?
No, colonies were part of the British American. So Floridas. It says the Floridas, which is weird. I didn't know they called it the Floridas back then. But no, it's part of the original 13 colonies. And
did you name more than 13? I felt like you named more than 13.
1, 2. Why does it look like this?
That has nothing to do with what we're talking about.
No, absolutely not.
Jeez.
Well, actually, no. I guess technically it's a colony. Like a what?
It's not the 13 colonies. It was just a colony.
This is a bit confusing.
Yeah.
Victor would be mad at me.
So he's
'cause
not
I should
right.
know this.
I don't think so. Anywho, so yeah, I just think I feel a cameo coming on to help with Hulk. Because we can't have Hulkbuster. Tony ain't around. Bruce Banner don't need Hulkbuster because he can Hulk again.
Yeah, it could be like Everett Ross in a cell, and Banner is not in Hulk form, and he's just there trying to like run tests and be like, hey, I told you that this power was stupid.
Do you see Captain Marvel coming to help with Red Hulk?
No.
Nah?
I don't think Bree is coming anytime soon until Secret Wars or Doomsday.
It can't be Photon. She's in a whole nother multiverse.
That's what I'm thinking. Like, you think they keep picking back off of this other multiverse of that? That's my second line. So if it's not leading up to Black Panther 3, then it's a tie to other universes.
I'm going to go with the end credit scene has something to do with mutants.
Right.
Or the X-Men.
I would not be against it.
It's hard not to go there because adamantium's in this movie.
Absolutely.
It's hard not to fucking speculate that.
Absolutely.
It's so difficult. I see it.
Or both. It's Shuri and the Wakandans creating or finding this gene suppressed in one of the Wakandans.
Oh, that they're a mutant?
Yeah.
Are there mutant Wakandans?
Yeah,
Wakandians?
mutants are they're all over the world.
Wakandans. Yeah.
Yes. I don't know any specifically that I can name, but I know there is a guy that goes to Xavier's school that's from Wakanda. And I don't remember his mutant powers, but I know he is Wakandan. So maybe there is a mutant gene.
Do you know of anybody else that has adamantium in them besides Wolverine?
What's his name? Is it Omega Red?
Oh, I think he does, right?
Yeah, the Russian like super soldier guy. I think Omega Red.
I feel like if it's not an X-Men or a mutant, or if it's not Wolverine or a mutant, it's gonna be somebody that has adamantium in them. But anyway, we've held their ear or their eyes for way too long. So yeah, let us know your guys' last predictions on that. If you all are liking Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man, because we are enjoying that. But yeah, I think that's all we got coming up is Captain America, and then the other half of this one.
Yeah, the rest of this, and then I think that wraps it up for the month of February.
Yeah,
and then in March, we're gonna wrap up a full season breakdown of Goosebumps.
Yeah,
and then I'm excited for this one. This is where Daredevil Born Again kicks off. And we're gonna get some episodes, and I'm excited.
Hell yeah!
And then one of my just something we threw in there because I wanted to cover it. It's Mickey 17. I'm very excited for that.
Mm-hmm.
Mickey 17 looks really cool. It's gonna be a quirky, futuristic movie.
Think multiplicity in space.
Correct.
Yeah, if you have seen Multiplicity, Michael Keaton movie.
With like a, what was it called? Shutter Island ending. Like, I think it's going to end with some type of like, what the fuck just happened?
Okay.
I think, because that's just all the
type
of movies
I think the whole movie is, what the fuck is happening?
Fair point. Yeah, fair point. But yeah, I think that's... Most of March is going to be covering all the Daredevil episodes.
This is going to be a Daredevil podcast for sure at that point.
I can't wait.
Yeah. So we are excited for that.
Super stoked and excited.
Super. So us and The film addicts, I'm sure, are itching for that.
Oh, yeah,
they love
absolutely.
the Netflix Daredevil. That's like one of their favorite. I think it's their favorite Marvel show.
I think that's
If I'm
the
not mistaken.
best.
It is the best show, in my opinion. I think it beats Loki.
I don't think that.
What? You don't think it's better than Loki? All right. Wow. I think it is. Loki had a great ending, but I think all in all, the entire series, Daredevil was done better. It's hard to compare the two because Daredevil went longer, so it told more.
Yeah, they
You know
had
what I
3
mean?
seasons.
And he had a season of Defenders.
Yeah,
So it's like it was more in the show. I think that's probably why I think it was better.
and there's 13 episodes each season.
Yeah, and
there's
they're-
a shit ton of episodes
Yeah,
compared to Loki is what 8 or 9. There's not 10. I think it's 8.
Is it?
I
Oh,
don't know.
maybe. Anyway. But yeah, so that's what's coming up. Let us know if you all are excited for that. And we want to thank you all for joining us yet again. Geeky, let them know how long I'm with you.
To the end of the line.
Thanks.
If you enjoyed this episode, please don't forget to like and subscribe.
Also, hit that notification bell to stay up to date on all our new episodes and more.
Ah!